Hey folks, it's Abby and today I'm going to be talking about the books that I managed to read in November. So November was less of a hectic month for me than October, but still a little bit all over the place. But I did manage to eventually, in like the last week of the month, get my arse in gear and actually sit down and read. However, I haven't done the maths yet for all of the numbers and everything, so as usual with these, editing Abby has to deal with it. Thanks for that. The first book I read this month, coming in at 103 pages, was 5 Forget Mother's Day by Bruno Vincent. This is a parody of the famous 5 stories, and I read this, I think I mentioned last TBR that this is on my TBR because my mum was going to unhaul it and I thought I'd nick it from her because I've got the whole collection, so I just wanted to read it, so it was done. And it's a nice quick read. This I gave 2 or 3 stars. It was fine. I think I gave this one 3. It's better than some of the other ones that we've had, but they don't quite capture the kind of essence of Famous 5 like the other ones do. Then I made the mistake of going on NetGalley and I found an audiobook, which is The Annual Migration of Clouds, which comes in at 168 pages if you read it physically. Of course, I listened to the audiobook. It's 4.5 hours long. This was fantastic. This is an absolutely fantastic audiobook. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world where a young girl has just received an invite to go to this prestigious school rather than kind of working on this farm land essentially where they're all struggling and in survival mode. And it's all about the guilt that comes along with this, in that she's leaving these people that she's been surviving with, including her family and her very close friends, and going off into the unknown. Fantastic book, amazing, 5 stars. I really recommend this one. It's already out in the physical copy and the audio copy comes out right at the beginning of December, so definitely recommend picking this one up. I'm so glad that I found it. It's so good, right up my street. Then the day before the live stream, I finally finished The Dying of the Light by Landy at 605 pages. This is the 9th book in the Skullduggery Pleasant series, so I won't go into depth. I've spoke about this series often enough, but basically, oh, that's that bingo board bookmark. Basically, magic in Ireland, walking, talking skeleton detective. And it gets very, very dark. It starts off as a middle grade, it is not a middle grade anymore. This was a really, really great book. Lots happened. It is the last book before the next iteration, the next season of Skullduggery Pleasant, so this is essentially a finale. It was great fun with the bingo board, which I'm only flashing you because of course it has a lot of spoilers. But yes, this is great, and if you do want to hear more on my thoughts and everyone else in the Dead Famous Read-Alongs thoughts, then I will link the live show down below for this one. Then, coming in at 158 pages, is Rogue Protocol by Martha Wells. This is the 3rd book in the Murderbot Diaries. You all know I love this. So again, I can't go too much into this, but this is set around a sentient AI that has control of its governor module, and instead of being evil and killing everyone, it decides it just wants to live its own life. This is its adventures in space, and it always ends up helping humans even though it doesn't want to. It's fantastic. I love this one so much. I can't say too much because obviously it's so short that I could summarise the entire plot really quickly, and also it's the 3rd book, but if you don't know by now, I really recommend this series. I'm trying to make my partner read it. This book totals 211 pages, but I only read 111 pages of Cathy's Key, which is by Stewart, Weismann and Brigg. The reason for that is that I started it in October, so finally finished this one off, finally. And this is a fantastical supernatural thriller where a teenage girl falls in love with an immortal, and I don't want to say too much more. The other immortals aren't happy, there's a lot of violence, a lot of danger. This is great. It's really, really good. I wish I'd read it when I was younger because I would have loved it more, but I do still really enjoy it, and I'm very excited to read the last book when it finally arrives, which should be on the 11th of December. Because that's when my parents are going to come down with the rest of my books and I can finally organise these shelves in December. This was a lot of fun and I'm very glad that I'm finally reading it. And then last but by no means least, we have Resurrection by Skullduggery Pleasant. Now, I'm filming this a little early just because of time frames, so I've not actually finished this yet. I'm actually technically nowhere near. I'm 50 pages in, but I will have finished this. The reason that I'm reading 2 Skullduggery Pleasants this month is because I should have read The Dying of the Light in October. I am a big part of the reason why the live show was pushed back, so thank you very much guys. But yes, this is actually the November read for Skullduggery Pleasant. This is the first one in the 2nd season where Val comes back after a a hiatus, a little bit of time away, and this is going to be the first book that we're reading for the Dead Famous read-along that only I have read before. These are all going to be rereads still for me, but for everyone else they are brand new, and not spoiling everything is so difficult. Very excited for this one. I will finish it because I'm just determined to actually manage my TBR, so I'm just going to be sitting and reading this at night times whilst my partner plays his video games, so I'll get through this nice and quickly. How many pages is it? Oh, it's short. It's 420 pages. So yeah, 420 pages for this one, and then I'm all done. And with that, I have actually managed my TBR and 2 books more, 1.5 books more. So my TBR was originally 5, Dying, Rogue and Resurrection, and then I've obviously added half of Cathy's Key, and I've read The Annual Migration of Clouds, which I really loved. Please, I'm not speaking about this well enough. Pick this up. It's fantastic. It's so good. It's so short. It will take you so little time. Read it. It's really good. So yes, that was my November reading wrap up, which went a lot better than last month. Thank the Lord. Let me know down below the best book that you have read in December. For me, it's a split between Rogue Protocol and The Annual Migration of Clouds. I can't pick. It's those two. Those two are my top reads of November. Thank you so much for watching, folks. If you'd like to see some more from me, please do hit the subscribe button down below, and please do hit like, as every little click helps. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!